KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Soul contracts. Karmic contracts versus soulmate contracts. Before we come into this world, every soul makes a predetermined contract, i.e. the agreement that a soul enters before physically becoming part of the Mother Earth. The foundation by which this agreement is entered upon might be different, which leads to various soul contracts. Soul contracts are always there to help you fulfill your desired purpose in life. Sometimes they can be there to teach you bitter lessons, or they can be there to help you overcome a situation. Some of the different types of soul contracts include the karmic contracts, the soulmate contracts, and the twin flames. But for this video, we'll be elaborating and comparing the karmic and soulmate contracts. These soul contracts may seem similar, but differ in extremity and purpose. But understanding them can help you have some clues and lessons of a particular relationship. If you're new to this channel, kindly subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon if you haven't. Here are some distinctions between karmic contracts and soulmate contracts. 1. Karmic contracts are meant to fix the hurt and trauma we've experienced during the past life. They're full of turbulence, and they're there to help you live and experience what needs to be lived and experienced. In comparison, soulmate contracts are there to be the best support in your soul's development. Your soulmate's purpose is to help you learn and grow. 2. Karmic contracts are usually prevalent in the kind of society we live in, because it's often a toxic relationship. Like karma, it's designed to make you pay for something that you did before now. It can come in different forms, such as a horrible boss, an unromantic partner, or a backstabbing friend. They're only there to give rise to intense, fascinating, yet unstable relationships. Soulmate contracts, on the other hand, exude pure and unconditional love. This contract comes after karmic agreements that have been broken. This can also come in different forms, such as platonic, familial, and romantic relationships. 3. The karmic relationship brings about necessary evil in the form of a relationship. This evil differs in each person, but no matter how the evil presents itself, it's the representation of karma that's not resolved from a previous lifetime, and it's there to make sure that everything is put back in place before you can move on. But on the other hand, soulmate contracts are usually life-changing. They're not there to serve you any punishment. Instead, they'll bring you to the peace you deserve. It happens comfortably. Soulmate contracts relationships are usually the best because they're always mutually unqualified love and respect. The main essence of this contract is to teach self-love. 4. Karmic relationships are not meant to stay forever, but
Come on back, listen. They said that was a lot, Zoe, but look how it ties in to everything else. Remember, Mirror of Relationship is the name of the book by J. Krishnamurti, right? The book is called, go to Amazon right now, it's called The Mirror of Relationship, Love, Sex, and Chastity. That's the name of the book. The Mirror of Relationship, Love, Sex, and Chastity by J. Krishnamurti. This book features excerpts of the title's themes from Krishnamurti's talks and discussions held between 1933 and 1967. This wasn't this hasn't been a relationship as a mirror hasn't been something that's really popular for a long time. But this man has been talking about this all dating back to as far as 1933. Like, we're quote shoppers, and we don't like to cite our sources. I've always cited my source when saying, when speaking of relationship as a mirror. I always say it comes from Krishnamurti. Now, in my books, I've taken it and added the holographic principle. So now I say relationships are a holographic mirror, meaning it is a mirror that reflects your entire story. So it's a holographic reflection of everything you've been through. Well, when listening to that video, and it explained karmic relationships, right? Are you guys listening? It explained karmics. And basically the karmics were the toxic relationships. Well, what's the difference between that definition and trauma bonding? Trauma bonds can be hard to spot and break free from. It can develop from a cycle of abuse followed by positive reinforcement. The abuser may act loving afterwards, making it difficult to process feelings. Some signs of trauma include unpredictability. You feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. Negative self-appraisal. You may rationalize or defend the abuser's action. Loyalty. You may feel a sense of loyalty to the abuser. Isolation. You may isolate yourself from others. Breaking a trauma bond and recovering can be a long journey. Trusted people such as family members, friends, other survivors, counselors, support services, and therapists can help. Now listen, that was a karmic. That was, and it goes even deeper. This is why I don't want you to get caught up on the words, right? I'm giving you the words, and then I'm going to show you how these same definitions can go to different terms, right? So here we go. Trauma bonding, also known as traumatic bonding or traumatic coercive bonding, is a strong connection that can develop between an abused person and their abuser. It is characterized by an unhealthy attachment to the abuser, which can be based on physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. Trauma bonding can occur in any type of relationship that involves a power imbalance, including romantic or non-romantic. Why aren't you saying what this sounds like? This sounds like fearful, avoidant attachment, because this describes the exact conditions that will create a fearful, avoidant attachment style. Right? The child raised in this power imbalanced environment loves, yet fears and are terrified of their primary caregiver. Are attachment styles a type of trauma bonding? Do you see how all of this flows together? And if in fact what you've been through is your relational calling card, is that not karmic? Are these not karmic relationships being called in for reconciliation? Are y'all listening to how I'm laying this down? What did Krishnamurti say about it? He said, relationship is the mirror in which we see ourselves. All life is a movement in relationship. There is no living thing on earth that is not related to something or other. Even the hermit that abandons the world and goes into some lonely spot is related to the past, is related to those who are around him. So are you seeing how I'm bouncing from clinical to psychological to spiritual? And these definitions are basically one in the same, right? They're basically the same. Okay? You're attracting what you are, what you've always been. And when we start to pull the layers back, if your mother's a covert narcissist, you might not become one. If your father is or was a grandiose narcissist, you might not become one. But chances are you could pick up some of the traits. There's a very good chance that you could pick up some of the traits, right? If you were raised by somebody that was an SLD, self-love deficient, or codependent, right? Chances are you're going to take that. You can't say in one breath, we are modeling our environment, and then when somebody comes with a more mystical explanation of it, go, nah, that's not true. No. Right? So you're attracting the conflict. You are attracting the karmic. You are attracting the mess into your life for mess management. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that's why they're in your life. Do you understand? You have to learn mess management. And guess what? It's not their mess that you're learning to manage. It's your mess that you're learning to manage. You heard me say it all week. It's not the issue that is your issue. It's how you deal with the issue that is your issue. Relationship is a mirror in which I see myself as I am. But as most of us do not like what we are, we begin to discipline, either positively or negative, what we perceive in the mirror. In other words, how we see ourselves. That's Krishnamurti. But Carl Jung said it, human beings will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid looking at themselves. Same principle, right? Right? So we go from the clinician to the philosopher. Now, all of this is rooted in blame, because the ego can never claim responsibility for anything. Right? So this is where get back comes from. I deserve better. I should have been treated better. You should have showed up differently. Do you see what I'm saying? The superego, this is Freud, the superego is rooted in what? Morals, self-righteousness, self-aggrandizement. Do you see? I can't believe you treated me like this. There is no way. Do you know who I am? Huh? If you recognize the illusion, then you can, by putting it aside, give your attention to the understanding of relationship. But if you seek security in relationship, it becomes an investment in comfort, in illusion. And the greatness of relationship is its very insecurity. By seeking security in a relationship, you are hindering its function, which brings its own particular actions and misfortunes. That's Krishnamurti. All of us have been conditioned to look for certainty, right? Predictability. You know why? Because we're born scared. Just like a Christian is born in sin, a relationship is born out of fear. I don't want to feel what I modeled as a child anymore. Are y'all listening to what's happening? I know I'm going to get to the phone lines. But did y'all hear that? Are you listening to what's happening? Let's go back. If you recognize the illusion, then you can, by putting it aside, give your attention to the understanding of relationship. But if you seek security in relationships, is that not, hey, I'm better than Cheesecake Factory? he got to make more than $150,000. That's security. He got to take care of this, that, and the third. Or she got to pay half. She got to go 50-50 with. Hey, loyalty means everything to me. I trust and loyal. Remember I said these two concepts are rooted in fear? They're rooted in predictability. I need to be able to count on you. I need to know that I can trust. That's because you're fearful. And I would even say rightfully so. We live in a toxic world. You live with human beings. Human beings are inherently flawed. I dare you to put your guard down. And I'm not trying to punk you. I want you to put your guard. I want you to be hurt. Because there's value in being hurt. But you haven't been taught to put your guard down and to learn how to take a spiritual punch. I know y'all not ready for this. This is why get back is so important. This is why I can't believe you did this. It's so important. If you recognize the illusion, then you can, by putting it aside, give your attention to the understanding of relationship. But if you seek security in relationship, it becomes an investment in comfort, in illusion. Listen. And the greatness of relationship is its very insecurity. In 2019, I wrote a book called A Holographic Relationship where I talk about this when I talk about the uncertainty principle, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which is a part of the fabric of our reality. And what did I say? Relationship uncertainty, it's part and parcel needed for a relationship. It can't be predictable. It can't be the same thing every day. But we've been taught to seek safety. We are spiritual babies, infants, at the lowest level of spiritual development. We want to be safe. Everything is rooted in safety. Remember yesterday I said that's where psychology is. You have to be safe. You have to create a safe space. At some point, you're going to have to develop the spiritual courage in order to show up as yourself. Oh, goodness. Here we go. I'm sorry. Let's get the callers in here. I'm sorry. Oh, we lost Reggie? Oh, when I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines. I got to talk to Reggie. Reggie, call me back, man.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley. First, thank you for your support of KBLA Talk 1580. We deeply appreciate you. So, I get asked all the time, Tavis, when are you going to bring back that State of the Black Union symposium you used to do? You know the one where you had all those black intellectuals on stage every year and everybody watched all day live on C-SPAN? Yeah, I know the one.
Let's bring them back.
Well, I am pleased to tell you that if you go to KBLA1580.com right now, you can sign up to be in the audience here in Los Angeles when we go back live on C-SPAN with a stage full of black thinkers and influencers for a historic conversation. America has never seen a stage full of black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's going down Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. Once we reach capacity, you'll have to watch us on C-SPAN. But if you want to be in the room when we go live from Los Angeles, Tuesday, June 18th, head to KBLA1580.com right now to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. With KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I believe up there. Hey! KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hold up. So what you saying is,
It's like little pimps.
Places, seen a lot of faces. Oh hell, I even with different races. A white dude, his name was John. He had a Queen Bee Rules tattoo on his arm. He asked me if I'd be his date for the prom, and he'd buy me a horse, a Porsche, and a farm. Damn, from down south used to like me to spangle it up in his mouth. And Thorny, he was Italian. He didn't give a that's what I liked about him. He ate my from dark to the morning. Called this girl up and told her we was boning. Puerto Rican Poppy used to be a deacon, but now he be on the weekend. And this black dude I called King Kong, he had a big head, get a hurricane tongue. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house? I got to know. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house? Tell me. How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house? How many licks does it take till you get to the center of the house? This verse goes out to my in jail, beating they to the double XL magazine.
Everybody that ever done me wrong, you know, I'm not wishing anything on them, but you can't do people bad.
Right.
So God's got it. Yeah, I don't even want it. If they was able to take it, it didn't belong to me. Now, this is mine, and nobody else can come and take it. Everybody.
Play it again. That's Fantasia.
Everybody that ever done me wrong, you know, I'm not wishing anything on them, but you can't do people bad.
Right.
So God's got it. Yeah, I don't even want it. If they was able to take it, it didn't belong to me. Now, this is mine, and nobody else can come and take it.
I love Fantasia. Beautiful sister. Talented sister. And you can hear the spiritual evolution in her. I ain't got the words quite right, but the spiritual evolution in her is right there. Right? But listen to me. When you get to the right place spiritually, you won't even have to say what she said. Anybody that's ever did anything wrong to me, you ain't even got to say that. It'll be tantamount to what Morpheus says to Neo when he's in the simulation, right? He said, Neo. Neo says to him, what are you saying, Morpheus? I can dodge bullets? And he says, no, I'm saying when you're ready, you won't have to. Like, you ain't even going to need, you won't have to. Like, we have to get to that point of spirituality. I'm telling you right now, most of us are preoccupied on, it's almost like a little sadistic, I want to see them get theirs. Or I want to put out little seeds to show them that I'm doing better. Right? You remember yesterday I said social media is part of your youngin' mask. Sometimes on social media you post lies. You post that you're doing better than you actually are. Sometimes you are doing better and you want that person who hurt you to see that you're doing better. This is the sign of a spiritual child. You still got work to do. Don't jeopardize your better footing, right? Keep progressing forward. You jeopardize your spiritual footing by trying to double back and say, see what you missed out on? See, I'm in a better place. See, do you see what I'm saying? It's childish. I'm sorry, we got callers. Let's go. Nazarene, oh, no. Attila, Houston, Texas. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Uncle Go. Well, while I was wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, just waiting a little bit, I started thinking about the concept of the twin flames and soulmates and all that stuff, which I actually do subscribe to. But I think part of the reason why we have this obsession with trying to figure out if someone is a karmic, a twin flame, all this goofy stuff, is because of two things. I think we're trying to figure out permanence versus purpose. And we're not really enjoying the person, the experience, the lesson, none of that. I think we're more concerned about trying to figure out if the person is an op or not versus actually having the experience. So to go into a little bit about what I mean by permanence or purpose, you're trying to figure out if this person is temporary for the long haul, whatever the case, or versus focusing on what is this person's purpose in my life, and how is it going to unfold. And either one of those, I think if you dive too deeply into them, can actually drive you a little nuts. And in addition to missing that person, you'll miss the lesson.
Let me listen. Purpose, permanence, and op. Right? So are we hip to the concept in physics known as superposition? Right? Superposition means every possible outcome, right, is all happening at the same time, right?
Fact.
Superposition, the action of placing one thing on or above another, especially so that they collide, right? Whenever a particle, when we're talking about superposition as a particle, that means the particle is everywhere. It's everywhere. They call it a probability wave when you're looking at the measurement principle, right? Or the measurement problem. They see it as a probability wave. That means every person you've ever dated, because physics represents the physical world where we live, even our relationships. Every person you ever dated has the propensity to be an op. They have a propensity to be a part of your purpose. And they have a propensity to be what else?
Your destiny, I guess.
And they have the propensity to be permanent.
Yes.
Stay with me. When we come forward, I'm going back to Houston, Texas. Let's go.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Officials are looking into how Race's art project featuring images of LeBron James and monkeys was displayed at a school art exhibition. The project is fictional serial advertisement called Monkey Premium, featuring a photo of James and the tagline, "Eat like monkeys, jump like monkeys." An Air Force airman who was shot and killed in his apartment in Florida on Friday was killed by a deputy entering the wrong home. Attorney Ben Crump, who's black, revealed Wednesday that a woman said she was on FaceTime with Roger Fortston when he was killed and that there wasn't a disturbance, which police said was the reason for the call. Georgia Appeals Court will consider former President Trump's appeal of a decision to not remove the district attorney from his election interference case in the state. In March, a judge ruled Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis could remain on the case if Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade was removed from the case. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
NexGard Plus, Afoxalon or Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets, is the one you want for your dog's monthly protection. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Ask your veterinarian about NexGard Plus Chews today.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. 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 Follow the leader.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I come from Bed-Stuy. See the two of they gon' die. Gotta keep the close by. Someone murdered. Nobody seen, nobody heard it. Just another funeral service. We'll get at you. Come through, shine it, yap you. In broad daylight, kidnap you. Best get clapped through. Police stay on us like tattoos. It's only grind cause we have to. Money is power. Sling powder. Fiends come through every hour. It's all about that dollar. And we no deal with cowards. Weak lamb get devoured by the lion in the concrete jungle. The strong standing rumble. The weak fold and crumble. It's the land of trouble. Brooklyn, home of the greatest rappers. Big comes first and the cream comes after. Now put your lighters up. Bed-Stuy, put your lighters up. New York, put your lighters up. DC, keep putting your lighters up. Philadelphia, put your lighters up. Detroit, put your lighters up. Chi-Town, keep putting them lighters up. No matter where you're from, put your lighters up. Let me give you a walkthrough, show you what to do and you don't do. Where it's not safe to go to. The boys approach you, better say quick who you close to. Don't come through if they don't know you.
So sometimes we feel like we need to get the last word in. Are you one of those people? I'm going to give you a gift. Get the last word in. Go for it. Just make certain the last word is of love.
Is of love. That's a gift. Attila from Houston, Texas, get back in here. We were talking about superposition, right?
Yes.
And you named those three things, and I think sometimes we might be focused on one of them. Are you a part of my purpose? Are you a part of, are you going to be permanent? Listen, every lesson learned is permanent, right?
That part.
Every lesson you learn takes us closer to our purpose, right? And I think
absolutely.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Right. Well, no, I was just going to say, I do think in terms of understanding the person that's sitting across from you or whatever, or the person that you're communicating with, knowing the types of questions that they're asking and understanding if it's coming from one of those three sources is also very important, because I think it kind of helps you curtail problems in the future if you can kind of remedy that, or at least give them some sort of reassurance. And so I think, again, if someone is too focused on one of those three things, you do run the risk of becoming a hamster on the wheel by trying to appease something that may be unappeasable. But a lesson, like you said, is still learned.
I love it. I love it. I love, Attila, girl, you pretty talented. You know that. We got to give, hey, man, where the drum rolls at, man? We got to give her flowers, some hands. Lord. Come on.
Oh, God. Lord.
Praise break for Atala. Come on, we appreciate you. She be dropping topics, man. I love it. The praise break was real. Atala, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, you know the routine. Just call us, 1-800-920-1580. The voice of reason is on complete fire right now. Let me get my young brother, my nephew up in here. Nazarene X from Atlanta, Georgia. Come on, it's been a while, but he's back in the building. What up, Nazarene?
What up, Unc? Love, man. You love.
Yeah, man. What do you think of tonight's topic?
As usual, you right on cue with what the good Lord is trying to do out here all across the galaxy.
What the good Lord is trying to do out here all across the galaxy. Come on.
It is the voice of reason. But look, love. So the notion of self being the only constant, period, is something that just kind of came to mind. And I believe that speaks to unity, to where you even say something often, and I don't want it to go over people's head, but you know how there are different degrees that separate hot and cold and so forth, but in terms of what we identify as God in that sense, I personally still liken that to being love itself as well. But you draw our minds to consider, where does God so-called begin and you end, or where do you begin and God ends? It's like when we really rest within that, I feel like it opens us up to a level of consideration of what we are processing, that can be healing within itself, to the degree where if we find ourselves so-called, first of all, you know, it's that notion of vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord, right? When we are operating in that type of self, we don't need to drop a tear in order to, I wish I knew the words, but we don't need to take our focus off of the bigger picture. Because when we turn to someone like we got to pay them back, or we turn to someone else, or like, you know, I got to show such and such that I'm doing better, we've taken our eye off of the greater cause or greater calling upon our own life. And I also read that it's like if you experience or witness someone down bad or hurting, one of the worst things that you could do is take pride in that.
Keep going.
Because it's
yeah, keep going.
One thing is like, you know, you're not, when you are right within that peace within, you still in your heart of hearts. I mean, I understand certain human nature type of nuances and all of that, but it's like, I don't want anyone to be bad, to be hurting. I want everyone to have a lesson, including myself, you know, where it applies and where it can serve to their benefit. But it's not in my nature to wish ill just upon someone, period. So when you turn and say like someone might have done you wrong and all of that, for one, if you can laugh at them stumbling, that's showing that you're still locked into the wrong kind of focus anyway. And God is going to take that like, oh, well, I guess my work is done. Because if God is actually moving upon that person's life and is so-called punishing them or paying them back for such and such, like that's karma at work, you taking joy and laughing is a signal to God that he don't need to do nothing more. And in that sense, you could be interrupting something that, again, not to take joy in it being like some kind of negative situation, but you could be interrupting the process of someone else's growth that's necessary, just the same as you would need that too. So it's like that whole thing of the all is mine type of piece. It's what you are aware of and what you're focusing, just like you have echoed this entire week as well, is not the issue that's your issue, is how you're handling it.
Right.
So if I am focused on reflecting. Like even earlier this week, I came to these words of like, I am open to discernment. I am open to restoration. I am open to instruction. I am open to patience, and I am open to surrender. That doesn't mean.
Wait, let's keep going.
That
I'm open to freedom.
Amen.
Stay with me, man. Stay when we come forward. I'm going back to Atlanta. My nephew done earned some more minutes on this show because he cooking. When we come forward, so much more to talk about. It's getting deep.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. City of Los Angeles tenants, verify your Emergency Renters Assistance Program status today if you applied for the program. Tenants approved for rental assistance are protected from eviction for non-payment of rent through May 31st, 2024. And it's illegal under law for landlords to refuse rental assistance to you based on your source of income. Refusing assistance can be used as an affirmative defense in an eviction case. So check your application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here's another one.
Wait. She got another slapper. What is it? What's next? Out of my playlist, you know I'm not saying that wasn't a slapper. Did we? Okay, so we played this. What else?
Been through it all, man.
That's an amazing. Ooh. Hey. Man, Andy is the best. Yeah.
You wanna sit more on my
my living room flow. Play Nintendo with Seasonino. Pick up my phone, say Papa not home. Sex all night, mad in the moon. Spin my V, smoke all my weed. Tattoo on saying B.I.G. Now check it. You wanna be my mid squeeze, baby? Don't you? You wanna give me what I need, baby? Won't you? Picture life as my wife. Just think. Full length, make fat X and old links. Bracelets to match. Conversation was all that. Showed you the safe combinations and all that. Guess you can say you's the one I trusted. Who would ever think that you would spread like mustard? Got hot, you sent feds to my spot. Took me to court, tried to take all I got. Another intricate plot. Said I raped up. Damn, why she wanna stick me for my...
My name is Vanessa Van Edwards, and I'm lead investigator at the Science of People, a human behavior research lab. Our mission is to figure out the hidden forces that drive our behavior. And today we're talking about the dark, secretive, mysterious science and psychology of revenge. As much as we hate to admit it, revenge is one of those intense feelings that comes up for every single human being. Have you ever been wronged and wished you could punish the perpetrator? This desire is wired within us. A group of Swiss researchers wanted to know what happens in the brain when someone reaps revenge. They scanned the brains of people who had just been wronged during a game in the lab. The researchers then gave the wronged participant a chance to punish the other person. And for a full minute, as the victims contemplated revenge, their activity was recorded in their brain. Researchers noticed a rush of neural activity in the caudate nucleus. This is the part of the brain known to process rewards. In other words, the study found that revenge in the moment is quite rewarding.
Wow. Rewarding, huh? Hey! Let me get my brother Nazarene X in here to get his final thought on tonight's topic. Nazarene.
Sir, yes, man, let me bring it back to that twin flame thing, right? Mm-hmm. One view I got from our sister Veronica Conway. It's that whole thing about the nemesis. That's actually tied into the twin flame conversation too. Mm-hmm. And I believe as well, when we consider the adversary in our lives, we always hear that whole thing, we can be our own worst enemy for real. Mm-hmm. When we allow anything to call us away from our own progression, we're being distracted. And it's on you to determine what is progressive for yourself. Where you're turning your energy and where you're pouring that into is basically going to be the next seed for karma to spin the block on you. So just remain mindful of that at all times. Try not to let anyone else's actions, reactions, or whatever take you off of course of what you're here to do with your life while you have the precious time that you got.
I love it, brother.
If in stride, somebody need to be slapped, you know what I mean? Jesus wept.
Jesus wept. I love it, brother. We appreciate the call. Thank you, man. Jesus wept. Let me ask a question. Let me just ask real quick. Is there a karmic equivalent in the Bible? Because science has, for every action, there's an equal yet opposite reaction. Right?
Well, the word, not remission of sins, what is it? That's a great question. Let me let that marinate. That is an excellent question.
Well, you think about it. I know somebody going to tell me. Somebody going to tell me, but I appreciate you for calling, young man.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Let me just say this, man. Everything about relationship should be looked through the lens of relationship being the university of you, right? This is why we bring all of these different types of questions, different philosophers, different clinicians. We bring all these people on because we want you to expand your perspective as it pertains to relating. Many times, just as Krishnamurti outlined, we seek security. But just remember this. Whatever you're seeking, you're also seeking its opposite. For every action, there is yet an equal but opposite reaction. So if you're in constant pursuit of security, you are also in pursuit of insecurity. And Krishnamurti says it this way. When insecurity creeps into dependency, as it inevitably does, then that particular relationship is cast aside and a new one is taken on in hope of finding lasting security. But there is no security in relationship, and dependency only breeds fear. Without understanding the process of security and fear, relationship becomes a binding hindrance, a way of ignorance. The man writes so clearly. Listen, when insecurity creeps into dependency, as it inevitably does, then that particular relationship is cast aside and a new one is taken on in hopes of finding lasting security. But there is no security in relationships. And dependency only breeds fear. Without understanding the process of security and fear, relationship becomes a binding hindrance, a way of ignorance. Then all existence is struggle and pain. And there is no way out of it save in right thinking, which comes through self-knowledge. How am I showing up? Who am I in relationship? Not what you can do for me, but what I can do for myself in terms of the healing process, which is an ongoing, lifelong process. Many of us don't get into relationships to conquer self. We get into relationships to finally get comfortable. All this week I was saying, in 10 years or so, the clinicians are going to find something. They're going to get to a point where they recognize this whole safe space stuff. I'm not saying it's bad. But they're going to start teaching something that is going to engender courage, spiritual courage, internal resilience, something that will allow you to see yourself without fear and judgment. Do you understand? As long as the mind uses relationship for its own security, that relationship is bound to create confusion and antagonism. It is impossible to live in relationship without the idea of demand, want, and of gratification. Jeez. And if you don't get it, you got somebody to blame and you got somebody to seek revenge for. All right, we started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Hey, I'll see you next week with another set of bangers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one and only Queen Bee. After me, there will be none. But you could call me Miss White. Most people know me as Little Kim, the head of the La Bella Mafia. Oh, shout out to my girl Victoria Gotti, the whole Gotti family. Stay up. This time around, I ain't taking nope. This time around, I never get bit. This time around, I switched up my flow. Got rid of the pits and put rocks by the door.